I'm Jen, visiting Anna's channel again. Anna is down in the lower 48 watching Grace play hockey this week. And instead of skipping a week of videos, we decided to show you this project behind me that I built using her easy garage shelf plans. It took about 60 2x4s to build this shelving. They're 20 inches deep, 8 feet high, and over 12 feet long. The really cool thing about this plan is I've used this same plan. This is my 4th time using it and I've had a different outcome each time. The shelving behind me I built using the plan. The only difference I made was I used 1x material to plank it, and then I've also built it to store a kayak, and then at another place for just basic garage shelving. So one plan has produced 4 different results. That's what's so cool about it, is it can be modified for just about anything. This wall in my garage had 0 function. This was our laundry cart. But look at all of this unused space. I needed to find an attractive solution to make this garage functional. Using Anna's basic freestanding shelf plans, the first section I wanted to tackle was a laundry tower. So I went to work finding the perfect laundry basket. Now I just had to figure out how to take this basic plan and incorporate laundry by tweaking it just a little bit. It took me a little bit of figuring, but once I got it, it was perfect. I'm gonna show you how I built it. For the main ladder construction, I'm using 2.5-inch screws. So to get started on this storage tower, you're just gonna start your screws wherever you want a shelf. And then you're gonna screw in from the outside of the leg. I'm using a speed square here to keep everything nice and square. That really is the beauty of these plans, is just how easy it is to customize every single shelf depth, length, height, and so on. All right, so when I first built this, I sort of just had to figure it out as I went. So we're gonna use 1x2s for the cleats that these are gonna hang on. So I got 16.5 for my spacing. So I'm just gonna cut 2 2x4s at 16.5 and put some pocket holes on the back side to just support the base of these ladders and just get them sort of locked in before I start adding all of the other supports and components. Okay, so while this is out, I'm gonna add a couple more of these 16.5-inch supports. Show you what I did over here. Kind of hard to see at the back at each laundry basket. Okay, so this is basically it for the frame. So now we're just gonna add those 1x2 cleats. As you can see here, these cross pieces, this sort of just helps square up the project, but I just made it flush with the bottom of the rung. And then I put the pocket holes to the back to keep them hidden. Obviously, this isn't the most beautiful project, but of course you could stain or paint it and really make it look nice if it was being used inside. This is just garage shelving for me, so I'm not too worried about what it looks like. I just want it to function. So I know my rungs are cut at 20 inches, these guys. So the 1x2 cleats, I'm gonna cut at 20 inches as well. Okay, so as you know, 1x2 is 3/4 inch thick. So I'm just going to use these 1 3/4 inch screws, and I'm gonna tack 2 in per cleat here. We are in a rental, so the beauty of this whole setup is you don't need to attach it to the walls, and you can take it with you when you leave. All right, so these boards that I'm gonna add are really gonna help square your project up. as I was putting them on, I can see there's some that are hanging over. So I know that I'm gonna sort of need to pull the legs apart and get them flush with the outside of these rungs. All right, so today I'm getting started on this next section, going over to the fridge. I'm just gonna build a ladder with 2 rungs so I can get it stood up and figure out the shelving placement, because I'm planning right now to add a few shelves from what we have here. So they won't be matching these exactly, and they'll also be a bit longer, and then we gotta build it around the freezer. So I'm just gonna do the same thing and build another ladder like that that's gonna go right here between the fridge and freezer. All right, so there it is. It's a little wonky and off right now because it's not square, but I'm gonna add some trim to the front of this before I slide it back in to sort of cover that freezer and make it look more like a built-in. And I'm just gonna use some 1x6 boards here. And I will Kreg jig them into the 2x4s. Okay, so moving along, I'm gonna start working on this section here. So these boards at the bottom, I don't wanna run all the way into the laundry basket, so I'm gonna hold them out probably 1 inch to 1.5 inches here, and then just span them all the way over here to be flush. All right, so I cut some spacers now that I know my shelf spacing here with the water. I went ahead and pocket holed this side because I don't want to pull the whole unit out, and those pocket holes will be covered with these planks that will go across anyway, so that should work well. So I'm just going to get this board attached, and since I'm working by myself, spacers really help to get it done with one set of hands. I just want to point out right here, you're going to split that ladder rung when you're putting these shelves in, when they're meeting in the middle like this. All right, the shelves are done. I am going to add a rolling bench with shoe storage to go right there. All right, I'm using what I have on hand here. This is gonna be the bench base. And then I'll just fill in these holes with slats. So I'm just gonna go ahead and screw these. I'm planning to do a face frame, so that will hide the screws. And once again, I'm sort of making this up as I go. I needed to add a scrap there to the middle because I'm gonna have a middle divider. So I just cut these 16-inch boards to the depth I need. I'm gonna start pocket holing them and attaching them to the frame.
So I got these 16-inch boards by 3/4 inch thick and 8 foot long. I think they were $20 a board, so pretty good deal. And really, I just needed a 16-inch board to get the height that I needed with 2-inch casters and a 3/4 inch top, so these worked perfect. The bench is quite deep, so I just used the 16-inch board for the top, and then I filled in the rest with some 1x3s, and that left me a little bit of a hangover at the front.
Okay, so that's a wrap. We got it filled up and we've been using it for a couple weeks now. It is working really well for our family. It's completely organized our garage and the laundry situation and recycling. This build took me probably between 10 and 15 hours total, so not too much time to have this much shelving. Please leave a comment below about what your favorite part of the shelving unit is. Be sure to tag Anna White if you build using this method. Anna will be back next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.